Hello, we'll get started here in a few minutes. If you are joining, just hang on for a few minutes. We'll be starting here once we hit 4 o'clock and get everyone in. You may see, just as a FYI, you might see that my name's coming up as Dean Lemire. My name is Kendra Ivins, and we'll go into that in a few minutes. All right, in an effort to be respectful of all of your time, we have a lot of information to get through today. We will go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendra Ivins. I'm the Director of Residence Life here at Wofford College. It is my pleasure to coordinate move-in and for the class of 2029, along with my wonderful colleagues that are all here. I'll have them introduce themselves in just a minute. Today is our final Terrier Talk, and we are excited to welcome each of you to campus Saturday, August 23rd, to kick off orientation. Today, we'll spend some time going over the move-in process and some important information for residential students. We'll talk through new student orientation and share about your FYI or first year inquiry experience for all of our new students. We will have several speakers for today who will introduce themselves throughout the presentation. But we will begin with myself talking a little bit about move-in day. And we have our Assistant Director of Operations here as well, in case they can join in. I want to note that you can feel free to post any questions that might come up in the Q&A feature of the call. I'll be sure to answer those at the conclusion. So if you ask those at the beginning, just know you might get those there at the end. This session will be recorded and posted on your FYI tab, along with the recordings from all the other Terrier Talks that you might have missed. So if there's anything that you don't catch in the moment, know that in the next day or two, those should be reflected on your My Wofford. With all of that, I'm going to take 1 minute just to let everyone who is here to present just share their name and their title so that once they get to start talking, they can get through that. So we will start with Dean Lawton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Lawton. I've been here for 29 years, and I'm the Dean of Student Success.
Allie, do you want to share?
Yes, I am Allie Obst. I am a 2022 Wofford grad, and I am the Assistant Director of Student Activities.
We have a couple orientation staff. Do you want to share your name and what you're doing with orientation?
Hey y'all, my name is Sunny Owens, and I am one of your co-chairs this year. I'm a senior majoring in bio with a minor in education and social.
What's up, guys? I'm Jack Redmond. So sorry for the camera difficulties, but I am also a co-chair of O-Staff this year. I'm a senior finance major from Greenville, South Carolina.
And I'm here with Dean Lemire, so he's going to announce himself off camera.
Well, thank you for letting me be here. Brian, Campus Life.
Awesome. Well, we are going to get started today. We got lots of information, so stick with us and please share any questions that you have. First, we're going to talk about move-in day. Move-in day is Saturday, August 23rd from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. There will be a lot going on, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that process looks like. You will start at the Mungo Student Center, where you'll pick up your packet and your key. Your packet will have all the information that you need to be successful as you're starting here. You'll drive to your residence hall. You'll get in line, and we'll talk about those different lines. And then you get to relax while our wonderful orientation staff and a lot of our community helpers come and carry all of your things. You can see some of them there doing that. A big piece of that is making sure all of your items, you should have gotten this information via email, but all of your items should be labeled with your name and your residence hall name and number, so that when they're taking all of your things, they can make sure that they make it to your room and you have everything to your room, maybe even before you get up there. So the way that move-in day will work, you will show up and prior to arrival, so you should have gotten this information a couple times via email and some reminders, but you will have a check-in card. That check-in card is going to tell you everything about what you have done and what you have left to do. So please, please, please check your check-in card. We will have information on that in a little bit, but please check your check-in card to make sure you have everything done prior to arriving that you need done. And then once you get here, you will go to the Mungo Student Center. There, you'll get your key and you'll get everything you need. You'll join your unloading line, and we'll have a couple of those, and the colors are next, so you'll kind of know what to expect. And then you get to move in. Faculty, staff, students, people from all over will carry your items to your room. Your mobile check-in card. If you haven't looked at this, please take a screenshot or look at that QR code so that you can check your check-in code. That's going to give you kind of a green check mark if you have done everything. If you have anything left to complete, here are some of the offices that you would need to contact. So if you're having an issue with your student bill, you'll want to talk to the business office. Similarly with financial aid, and their contact is there. If you have an issue with your medical form, so those vaccinations or anything that you need to submit there, the Wellness Center is going to be your best resource. And then the photo and parking permit, if you haven't completed those, then at this point you will complete those upon your arrival. And that we will have all of these resources there. So if for whatever reason you are not able to do it between now and then, you will be able to complete them on the day of move-in, but it will take you a little bit longer for your move-in process. So we always recommend if you can get any of this done ahead of time and make sure move-in a lot faster. When you come to check in at that Mungo Student Center, if you're looking around campus, first of all, just follow a lot of the cars. So many people, most of the people will be going here. There's a big Terrier statue outside of the Mungo Student Center. You probably walked through it if you came for an admission tour. At check-in, you will receive your student ID. You will receive a parking decal, some advising information, your orientation materials, room key if you're living on campus, unloading instructions specifically for you. So if you and a friend are coming, you might have different unloading instructions because it's all dependent on where you're living. And then an unloading lane pass. So you will not be able to get into line to unload until you have the unloading lane pass. So make sure you go there first. If you are not able to complete your mobile check-in card online, the departments that I mentioned just a few minutes ago, Wellness Center, Campus Safety, Business Office, and Financial Aid will be available on site. So you can complete things there, it just takes a little bit longer. Go to your loading zone. So this is where you will get to actually get in line to unload for your residence hall. You will have a loading pass that will reflect one of these colors. So that color tells you exactly where to go, and you'll have signs in that color that help you know where to go around and on campus. Once you find your zone, you will get in line. Any car that you have should have one of those unloading passes. And then you will pull up to the front. When you pull up to the front, make sure someone stays in every car that you have. So if you have 8 cars, make sure 8 different people are staying in those cars. Please don't have 8 cars. That's a lot of stuff for a small room. But if you do have, every car that you have needs to have one of those unloading passes, be in line, keep someone in the car. This will help us to make sure we keep the line moving. And when you pull up, our wonderful orientation staff and helpers will come grab all of your things, move them to your room. You'll go park, and then you'll get to go up to your room. So it's a pretty seamless process as long as we stay moving. And now the fun part, you get to actually move in. Make sure all your items are labeled. Please, please, please. That's going to be our biggest thing. Even if you have a mirror, make sure you put some painter tape and Sharpie on your name and your room number. Stay in your car. Your car will be unloaded for you. Once your car is unloaded, find the nearest available parking spot. So for most of the morning, the nearest parking spots are going to be reserved so that we can keep people going. So just whatever is the nearest place for you to park, for you to get unloaded. And then you get to go set up the room and get settled and ready until you get to your orientation sessions that are coming up that day. So you get plenty of time, and we do the heavy lifting so that you get to go and have fun and decorate and get ready for your transition. On your first day, you'll get to meet your RA. Your RA is going to be a student resident assistant who lives on the hall. They are upperclassmen who have experience living on campus, and they are there to help you feel connected. They're helped to answer your questions about how to connect to the internet, or who's the best resource, or how do I join a club. They're great about helping you get connected and be successful. Meet them, get to know them, and go to events. And it's a great way to meet people. It's hard your first year. You have built 18 years of of building a community, and now you're starting over. And so use the resources you have. Your orientation staff and your RAs are going to be great people to go ahead and help you segue into Wofford in a successful way. And then this is a lot of information, so take a picture or come back to it. But these are some of the important resources you need to know for living on campus. When you arrive, we will ask you to complete an RCR, which is a room condition report of your room. So that tells us what the condition is when you arrive. Hopefully it's in tip-top shape, but if somebody, you know, if there's ever something, an issue in your room, we want you to be able to report that so we can get that addressed and that's noted. We have 3 links at the bottom, and those are your virtual tours of your hall. You would have received this in an email about your housing assignment, but if you have not looked at those can be really helpful for kind of getting an idea of what your room might look like. Read the Guide to Residence Life. This is a quick snapshot overview of all the things you need to know about living on campus. It helps you be successful really early. Be aware of break housing dates. If you are like me and you're already planning for the entire year and you want to book flights for when you're coming home for Thanksgiving or for winter break, these dates are going to be really, really helpful. They'll let you know when the residence halls are closing, when they're opening back. So go ahead and plan around those so that you can be successful. And then knowing what to bring. You might want to bring a ton of stuff. We have some suggestions of things that maybe people often forget. And then some things that we will recommend you not bring because it wouldn't be permitted on campus. So that's a really helpful list as you're starting to pack. And that's everything for us. We're going to hand it over to our orientation and student life staff to talk about new and orientation and FYI.
Okay, so I am Allie again. I help to oversee our orientation program. So along with Move In on August 23rd, it is the kickoff to new student orientation, which is time set aside prior to classes starting, where we introduce you to important people and resources that will help ease your transition to the collegiate experience. So for the parents, we have a separate orientation schedule for our family, friends, whoever is helping move our students in. So if you scan that QR code, it will take you to our website, which has a copy of that schedule, but you also will receive a physical copy of that schedule. Some of the highlights of that are the opening session with Dr. Samhat that acts as a welcome to the Wofford community and a kickoff to the students' Wofford experience. And then we have a parent session with some of our wonderful, wonderful staff that will just provide some insight in what you can do to support your child while they're here. And then there is an optional reception downtown hosted by our Parents Leadership Council. That is after move-in, after orientation has started for our students that you can go to. And then this is our new student orientation schedule. You can scan that QR code and it will take you to a physical copy of it. But if you are looking to get ahead of the game, all of our events, including our orientation events, are housed on our app called Terrier Hub. If you're looking to download that app on your phone, it is called Modern Campus Evolve. We use it for a bunch of different ways on campus, but throughout orientation, we will use it to check you in to any of our events. For Greystone, it will be where you sign your waiver if you're over 18. So you don't have to download this app right now, but if you do, you can select Wofford as a college and you will log in with your My Wofford login. So, like I said, I work with orientation staff. They are a wonderful group, about 80 upperclassmen peer leaders selected from a very competitive pool of applicants this past spring. They help to plan orientation events and then continue on as guides and mentors for new students throughout the first semester at Wofford. 3 to 4 orientation staff members are assigned to each FYI course, and O staff members will attend classes throughout the semester to give current student perspectives to topics covered. Within orientation staff, a group of returning leaders are selected each year to serve on the orientation staff leadership team. We have 3 co-chairs this year, Vivian Chiomento, Jack Redmond, and Sunny Owens, who are all graduating this spring. So at this time, I want to turn it over to Jack and Sunny to walk you through some of the highlights from this year's orientation schedule to get you excited about what's to come.
Okay, we're gonna go through those schedule highlights with y'all. So as Ali said, on that first day, we'll have that opening session, which is your official welcome to Wofford. President Samhat will speak. It's really just like to welcome you and introduce you to some important faces around campus. And then you'll have an academic and personal success session in Leonard, and we'll be walking you through some, like you'll sign the honor code, you'll have some important people come talk to you about academic violations. And then you'll have your picnic dinner at 5:35, where you, your family, and all of orientation staff and any students that are back on campus, athletes will come and they'll all eat together outside of Burwell, and it'll just be time to hang out together. And then you'll have your meeting with your RA at 6:30, and at 8 p.m. you'll have your first meeting with your orientation leader. So we'll go through some important pieces for orientation with you then, and you'll have your first night social after that. So it'll be sweets, music, and time for you the first like, during your first night to mingle with and interact with your peers. We'll have crafts and music playing and just a lot of activities. Not pickleball, excuse me. Spike ball and cornhole will also be out there. And then on Sunday,
All right, so go back. Yep, sorry. Sunday. So at 9:45 in the morning, this will be your first thing. So make sure you're up and awake on Sunday morning. You'll have your first big thing as a class, your class photo. Don't miss it, or you will not be included in your class photo. And then, as you can see, it doesn't take very long. 15 minutes shortly after that, there'll be the first service of worship and the blessing of the class, right behind where you got your picture taken in Leonard. And then it's kind of a relaxed day. 2 o'clock, there's the soccer game, the women's soccer game. Support your Terriers. Like we were talking about earlier, go to as much stuff as you can, especially in this first week. Get out there, meet people, and the more you put in, the more you get out of it. And it's really a great week. At 4:30, there will be that student involvement overview. Some more stuff for you guys, just to learn about what's going on campus, what it looks like to be a student at Wofford, opportunities available for you guys. And then 5 o'clock, you'll meet with each of your FYI groups, and you'll have dinner, with O staff, and you got an email this week, about all of your FYI groups and who's in that, and your 3 to 4 selected orientation members to be leading you through these meetings and dinners. And then to wrap up the night, we have the class of 2029 competition. This is a fun one. It's a scavenger hunt type deal where you will navigate throughout campus, and basically whoever navigates through all the stations fastest, it'll teach you a little bit about Wofford. There's some other field day like activities for you guys to do, and the winner, we have a couple prizes for the people who finish in the shortest amount of time. So it's going to be a great time. And then Monday, another early morning, so 8 to 11. You guys will set up your academic advisor meetings. Make sure to check your Wofford email to schedule these appointments with your advisors. Each of you are assigned an advisor, and these meetings are very, very important. So make sure you don't miss those. And then from 11:45 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, yourselves and all of the orientation staff will load up on buses, and go to Camp Greystone. This is an all-day activity. Yeah, check this important information for Camp Greystone down below. There's a list of what to bring. If you have any dietary restrictions, let us know. And like Ali was mentioning earlier, on that Involve app, waivers need to be signed when we're loading these buses. So if you're under 18, please check your email for these waivers so you can get on the bus and come to Greystone with us, because you don't want to miss it. And then after Greystone, we will be showing a movie for you guys on the lawn in the horseshoe of behind Old Main. And we will reveal what movie we are showing when you guys get to school. So Monday and Sunday, even when you move in, a lot going on. And now we're going to pass it back to Sunny for Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday morning, another early morning. We'll be up and early every day of orientation. From 9 to 11, you will have your community exploration and engagement and academic success and classroom tours with us staff. So your community exploration and engagement will be about a 1.3-mile walk through the north side, which is the community right outside of Wofford. I know that doesn't seem like a long distance, but it will be about an hour or so. So please make sure you're hydrated and you put on sunscreen. We don't want anyone getting sunburnt or passing out from heat exhaustion. Also, with that, if you have any accessibility accommodations that have not been communicated with the school, please let us know ASAP so we can plan accordingly for you to be able to go through the north side with everyone else. And then the academic success and classroom tours with O staff, that will be your orientation staff leaders taking you around campus. We'll show you where all the buildings are. Some of us will show you the fastest ways to get there from your classrooms. Make sure you know how to get to all of your classes for the first day of school. And then you'll have hall dinners at 6 p.m. that evening. And 7 p.m. we'll be showing you a class of 2029 orientation video. So that'll just have little snippets and tidbits from your orientation compiled together by the social committee. I won't tell you too much about it. You'll see on Tuesday. Then Wednesday is your first day of class. And Thursday at 6 p.m. you'll have opening convocation.
Just a quick note, it looks like that's 11 a.m. is going to be opening convocation. I think we've had a change. So just note that's going to be 11 a.m. for convocation.
Thank you, Sunny and Jack, for those wonderful tidbits about what we can look forward to during orientation. So, as well as overseeing orientation, I help to, or I am a part of the student involvement department, which houses our student activities office, the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, inclusive engagement, leadership programs. And so, during those first 54 days of classes, those first 6 weeks, we put on an event every single day. So we partner across campus, so different campus departments, offices, student organizations, they plan events so that you have a way to get involved in something happening on campus. So if you want to see just a tidbit of what that will look like, you can scan that QR code and it will take you to the calendar. That calendar is ever changing, so there may be new things added as we get closer to classes starting. And then another great way to figure out and learn about different things that are on campus, different organizations, different departments, is to go to our interest fairs. So we have 3 different interest fairs that happen during the second or third week of classes. The Student Involvement Interest Fair has a lot of our student organizations, campus departments, and community partners to come and tell you about how you can get involved. And then our AMS student organization meet and greet is on September 10th. So you'll get to meet with some of those AMS student organizations. And then on September 11th, we have our Fraternity and Sorority Life Interest Fair, and that all of our fraternities and sororities on campus get to tell you about themselves.
So I want to talk just a little bit about the FYI 101 course that everyone's going to be taking. So FYI 101 is a graduation requirement. So all first-year students will be in the classes. You will be hopefully very pleased when you walk into FYI 101 on your first day. You're going to know everybody in your class because everybody in your class has been in your orientation group with you. So that's a really nice start to the semester. You walk in and you really have a good relationship with everybody there. In FYI, we're going to cover a lot of super important topics. And I think if you will give us a chance, my kids went through courses like this at their own schools that they did not enjoy. And I say we do it much, much differently here. We're going to help you figure out all the tools you need to succeed at Wofford. That can be everything from where do I get tutoring, where do I go to ask for help with certain things, where's the writing center, how to make a resume, how to work with a LinkedIn page, how do I figure out what college professors expect, tell me about Wofford's alcohol policies and Title IX policies, a whole bunch of other things. So it's a really good semester. We generally get to know each other incredibly well in those classes. Many of my students come to me for recommendations, and I say that's a great reason to get to know your FYI instructor well, because many of you are going to need to have a rec for any number of things in your first year, maybe even including O staff. And so they go to the FY instructors a lot to write those for them. Okay, let's go ahead and move on over. So student success teams, we are very excited about how we organize a group of people around each of you to do well at Wofford. So we start with you, the student, in the middle of the circle. You are the one that we are focusing on. And so if you will pop to the next one, you will meet on move-in day your orientation peer leader. So everybody's already gone through that with the schedules. These are 3 to 4 people who are assigned to your FYI class and your orientation team. You will spend so much time within between move-in and the first day of class that they'll become like family. They're going to know you well. They're going to be great leaders for you and supporters for you. We've also scheduled it so that your orientation leaders do not have class during your FY time. So your teacher will bring in the O staff people several times throughout the semester so they can give you the real scoop on maybe who you should take for classes or how do you register well or what's the best way to figure out the meal trade out system. But it's a really good group around you there. So then the next one on your team is your personal librarian. And so we have someone in the library assigned to every student, every first year student, and they're going to be helpful to you over, honestly, your first 2 years at Wofford. You'll be getting emails from the personal librarian saying, hey, I know that in this class, maybe it's your LEBA 101 class, you're starting to do certain types of registration today or certain types of research papers today. Here's some help for that. The personal librarian also will do a really good job of making sure that you know that the library staff wants to help you. Maybe that's different than in other schools, but they really, really want to develop a relationship with you. And all of us in our FY classes will go meet in the library to make sure we understand the resources there and get a chance to see the people there as well. Okay, so then the next part of your team is your staff guide. And on the screen with you is Dr. James Stukes, who's my assistant dean for student success, who also teaches FYI. But the staff guide is the person who is teaching your FYI 101 class. So they will get to know you extremely well. You'll do a lot of writing for them and really just have a good time getting to know them. And then the final part of the link is your academic advisor. So many schools, you'll have friends that have an advisor who is a professional staff person, and that can be a great system. But professional academic advisors usually have 200 to 400 different advisees. At Wofford, you're going to have a faculty advisor. That faculty advisor will have anywhere from 4 to 5 new advisees per year. So instead of somebody spending time with 400 new students, when you go to meet your advisor the first day, they only have 4 or 5 people to talk to. They really want to get to know you well. And I want to stress for anybody listening to this, use that first meeting with your academic advisor to make sure that you've communicated, these are the types of things I might want to do, even if you don't know your major yet. This interests me, this doesn't. Hey, I'm thinking about studying abroad in interim or during the semester. I'm thinking about these things in the summer, or I have no idea what should I do in the summer to help me have a really strong academic career and a strong job prospect or grad school prospect after that. So get to know them. You should all have schedules that are in really good shape at this point. I'm part of the advising team that you've been writing and advising at wofford.edu. I will say if you have problems with your schedule, we would much prefer for you to write us at advising@wofford.edu before you arrive on campus, because that gives you a chance for that first advisor meeting to really be about getting to know each other and not worrying about whether or not you can find a statistics class, which happen to be all full right now. So that's the team around you, and we're all gunning for your success and really hoping that you have a great first semester.
Awesome. Thank you. Now we've got some time for questions. So if you have any questions, I'm going to leave our chat open for a minute. We will stick around to answer any questions that you have. But I don't want to share that this is our last Terrier Talk of the summer. I want to thank you all for joining us today and know that we are excited to meet all of you soon. We hope that you have a wonderful evening and don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. You can email orientation@wofford.edu for any questions about the orientation experience and reslife@wofford.edu for any questions about your housing. As some quick reminders that just were put up, don't forget to go ahead and be working on your checklist. That's something you can do right now. And then when you arrive on campus, come to the Mungo Student Center first so that we can get you having a smooth move-in experience. If you have any questions, please drop those and we'll stick around for about 2 to 3 minutes to answer any questions that come up.
We've never had a group not ask questions, so make us feel better.
I think they just all have it. They all have it settled. They know what they need to do. Well, thank you all for spending time with us, both presenters and our new students and families. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. Have a good day.